Now, hold on, wait a second. Before you hit that dislike button or start leaving angry comments down below, give me a chance here. I may not be saying what you think I'm about to be saying, so just hold on here, give me a second. But if this is your first time catching a video on here, hello, I'm Garth Allen. This is Racing News Now. We generally talk a lot of ARCA stuff and a little bit of NASCAR stuff. Right now, while we're in this hiatus of racing, we've been doing a lot more NASCAR Heat 4 streams. We've been doing diecast reviews, that kind of thing, just to give you some kind of content while there's no on-track racing available. And then we've been talking some iRacing stuff as well. This specifically, you've seen the title now, and I'm going to pose this question to you. But I want you to hear my argument first before you maybe give a rebuttal down in the comments. And the question is, should NASCAR run points races on iRacing in the future? Now, I put out a tweet about this the night of the first NASCAR Pro Invitational iRacing Series race the other day at Homestead, asking what we thought about this. Do I want the Cup Series to go completely virtual? No, that's not what I'm going for here. I think we'd lose so many fans at that. I don't think this could keep enough people's attention if this was every race done every week on iRacing. Do I want that? No. But I think it would be feasible, especially now that we've got this Invitational Series going on. I've seen a lot of drivers getting a full iRacing setup together now. So if they've already got it and they've already got their membership going, why not? If we do one or two being the max. I don't want to do any more than that because it's going to get old after that point. But if we do 1 or 2 points races a year for the Cup Series specifically on iRacing, that would give us the opportunity for the Cup Series to go to tracks that it may not be as feasible for them to go to currently. With as big of a show as the Cup Series is, obviously there are certain tracks, like local short tracks, that kind of thing, that just don't have the facilities to host a Cup race, but would be fantastic to see Cup cars racing on. I think North Wilkesboro comes to mind first. Everybody has been clamoring for North Wilkesboro to be reopened and for Cup cars to be back there. And that may happen at some point in the future. I don't know, but for now, North Wilkesboro is nowhere close to being able to host a Cup Series race. Even if they were to reopen that track tomorrow, those facilities are in no way in any sort of condition to host a Cup Series race with all the fans, all the festivities that would go on around a Cup Series race in 2020. There's no way that North Wilkesboro would be able to house that. Maybe in 2021, but they'd have to start really working on that track right now for it to be feasible for that to be on the 2021 schedule. But if we ran a North Wilkesboro race on iRacing, then we're all happy, or most of us would be happy. There'd still be people that wouldn't like what they saw, but that gives us the opportunity to run Cup cars in a points race at North Wilkesboro, or at least at the virtual North Wilkesboro. North Wilkesboro is not on iRacing yet, but it apparently will be there at some point very soon, since Junior and his whole crew went over there and cleared all the weeds and everything so iRacing could scan it. I don't know when actually it will be on iRacing, but supposedly it will be soon. So that's a possibility. It gives us the opportunity to run at North Wilkesboro now, and then let's say 5 years down the road, North Wilkesboro is in a condition to where it could host an actual Cup race in real life. We shift from the virtual North Wilkesboro to running at the real North Wilkesboro, and we give the iRacing date to some other track. But there's so many tracks here on iRacing that the Cup cars just can't run at in real life, but I think would be really cool to be able to run a race at for the Cup cars. Myrtle Beach comes to mind. The Bull Ring at Las Vegas. I'm just scrolling down here through different tracks that iRacing has available. Southern National Motorsports Park. Gateway doesn't have one at the moment, but I have a feeling it might be on the 2021 schedule, so that may not necessarily be an option. We've got tracks on here like Lanier. South Boston would be a cool one. It does not have the facilities in real life for a Cup race, but South Boston would be really cool to see maybe a virtual Cup race at. IRP, Lucas Oil Raceway, just outside of Indianapolis. There is no way those facilities could handle a cup race and everything that goes on around a cup race right now. But if we were to run a virtual race there, and maybe run it in the same week as Indianapolis, maybe that can be the kickoff to your Indianapolis weekend. Run an iRacing race at IRP on Wednesday, and then you jump into the NASCAR weekend. Maybe have a truck race actually at the real IRP on Friday. Move Xfinity back to IRP on Saturday. Or maybe they have a fantastic race on the road course and we keep it there. Either way, that works. And then you've got the Cup cars at IMS on Sunday. That could be a possibility. Iowa might have a Cup date next year, so that might be one that could possibly work if they don't get a Cup date. New Smyrna, Thompson, all these tracks on here. Rockingham, I know they've been working to spruce up that facility, so that might end up back in real life on the Cup schedule soon, but if not, it's on iRacing. It's a possibility. Milwaukee, what else we got on here? Concord would be a cool one, I think. Stafford, Oxford Plains, USA International Speedway, a track that doesn't exist anymore, but you could put the Cup cars on it in iRacing and have a legitimate race there. Irwindale is another one. Langley Speedway would be a cool one. Five Flags. And then, of course, obviously, we already talked about North Wilkesboro, not on the service yet, but that is another possibility. So we got all these tracks that are possibilities that would be really cool to see the Cup cars racing at, but just don't have the facilities to do it in real life. Throw one or two of those virtually on the schedule every year, and I think you make everybody happy. Because everybody, or 99% of people that watched the Pro Invitational race on Sunday loved it. It'll be interesting to see how that reception does going forward through tracks like Texas and Bristol and that kind of thing, as long as we keep continuing that here for the next month or so until hopefully NASCAR comes back at Martinsville. But that's a possibility. We don't have to throw in iRacing races for Xfinity, Trucks, ARCA, that kind of thing, because they're not as big a show as the Cup Series. They can handle throwing Xfinity and Trucks to IRP or to South Boston or somewhere like that, and it would be okay. There's not enough fanfare around those races to where the facilities just couldn't handle it. The Cup Series, on the other hand, this is a viable possibility. So I want to know what you think. Let me know down in the comments now that you've heard the argument here. Just one or two races a year. I'm not saying the Cup Series should go completely virtual, but one or two races a year I think is very possible, and I think would be a great idea and something that I think NASCAR should consider, maybe for the 2021 schedule, or if that's already lined out completely at this point. Or close enough to completely that they can't stick them in, maybe in 2022. They're talking about doing all kinds of drastic big changes that'll be great for the sport here starting in 2021. As well received as this iRacing Pro Invitational race at Homestead was, I mean, that might be the way to go here. Throw in a couple iRacing races a year and see what happens. If it doesn't work, you don't ever have to do an iRacing race again. That's the great part about it. Try it once. Maybe throw in one race in 2021 or 2022 on iRacing. And if it's a complete disaster, then you don't have to worry about it. Don't throw it on the next year's schedule. Just forget it ever happened and move on from it. But I think with 1 to 2 races a year, nobody would get burnt out from it, and I think the racing would be fantastic. I think it would be fantastic entertainment. So let me know what you think down in the comments, if this is something you think would be feasible, or if I'm just a complete idiot, which is a definite possibility. I might be a complete idiot, but I think it's something that NASCAR should at least consider going forward, to maybe put the Cup cars back on some tracks that maybe aren't so feasible to run on right now. But I think that's going to be about it for this one. So if you haven't done it already, go down below, hit that subscribe button for me. Ring that bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. While you're down there, hit that big thumbs up button for me if you like the video. It's much appreciated when you do. Like I said at the beginning, when there's actually racing on track, we cover mostly ARCA stuff. We do a lot of stuff from the track with ARCA races. We do most of the main schedule for ARCA from the track, as well as select East and West races. We do some NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity, and Truck Series coverage as well, but ARCA is the main focus. And then right now, while we're in this bit of hiatus due to everything that's going on in the world right now, we've been doing a couple NASCAR Heat 4 streams a week, both online and career mode, as well as some diecast reviews looking at some of the product that Lionel has been putting out recently for Race to Win diecast and that kind of thing. So, and then anything that is anything we can come up for a discussion or news as well, like this, putting that out right now as well. So, if you liked what you saw, definitely consider subscribing and turning those notifications on, and hit that thumbs up button as well. But at that, oh, and thank you once again. I still forget this because it's so new to me to have a Patreon or to have a patron. But thank you to our regional manager William Holmes for contributing to the channel and helping us grow here on RNN. It is very much appreciated. If you would like to be a patron of RNN as well, hit that link down below in the description, patreon.com/racingnewsnow. But I think that'll do it for this one. So as always, I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.